Oh boy.
I'm gonna start laughing.
20 seconds.
Think of non-funny.
The Washington County Humane Society could be expanding.
And Carmichael's had its walk to end Alzheimer's.
Welcome back to Channel 14 News. I'm Rachel Mangan.
And I'm Mitch Montani. About 100 people gathered in Carmichael's on Saturday to participate in the 2018 Walk to End Alzheimer's. People of all ages participated in the 2-mile course. Different fundraising events such as a Chinese auction were available. Over $40,000 have been raised so far. You can still donate until the end of the year. WCYJ-FM was at the event to provide music.
Last week, Waynesburg University hosted Terry Wiltrout to kick off this year's Crosby Lecture Series. Sam Hickson attended the event to hear his lecture about challenges in community hospitals.
Waynesburg University hosted Terry Wiltrout, President of Washington Health System Green and Vice President of Operations at Washington Health System, as a guest speaker for the Glenn A. and Jane L. Crosby Lecture Series. The lecture took place Thursday, September 20th at 7 p.m. in the Goodwin Performing Arts Center. During Wiltrout's lecture, Challenges Facing Community Hospitals, he will discuss common issues confronting community hospitals, including those affecting the hospital in Waynesburg, such as technology demands, low patient volumes, competition, and other challenges. Wiltrout has worked in healthcare administration for 25 years. With experience in strategic planning, organizational growth, and integration of hospital service lines. At Washington Health System, Wiltrout coordinates projects to expand the hospital's market and bring in new business. For WCTV News, I'm Sam Hickson reporting.
Students packed the Beehive yesterday to show off their artistic skills. Ian Popovich was there to join in on the fun.
It was a time to be creative in the Beehive last Tuesday when students partook in a Bisque and Brew event. Students came to paint decorative sculptures of Halloween-themed statues. Some were small designs, while others tested their artistic talents. Students that participated in the event were given Starbucks vouchers for one free tall coffee item. I interviewed Patty Rowana, the artist who provided the sculptures and supplies, to see what she had to say about the event.
I enjoy watching the students. Some of them are very creative. A lot of the people I teach in the class basically want to paint it exactly like I did, so a lot of these kids, they just have more imagination. They use color more freely. It's just great to come up here and watch what they can do with the pieces.
The Bisque and Brew event is a common one here at Waynesburg University and will most likely happen again before the end of the semester. I'm Ian Popovich, reporting for WCTV, Channel 14 News.
The Washington County Humane Society is looking to expand by building a new facility. Antonio Palulo went to find out all the details.
The time has come for the Washington Humane Society to build a new building. The current one is over 70 years old, but atop that hill, there will soon be a new building to take care of these felines and doggos as they look for a permanent home. The current building is damaged all over, from the walls to the floors being damaged, along with ventilation not being safe for the animals. Volunteer and outreach coordinator Laura Fine saw the problems with the building and acknowledges the quality of care will improve with the new building.
As you can see, the walls and floor kind of deteriorating. The kennel doesn't have the greatest air quality, airflow, so spread of disease can happen easier. So in the new building, quality of care will be improved.
But where did the funding come to house these future family members? People just like you and me donated to help fund the new building.
The funding came from all kinds of different areas. We have private donors. We were in a silent phase for a long time where we were accepting donations, and now we've gone public and anybody can donate towards the new building.
Currently, this is the only place dogs have where they can play, and cats younger than 6 months have to stay in cages. But that will change with the new building, along with better medical facilities for the animals.
The new building will feature a modern clinic and an isolation unit, which we're lacking right now. So that will address the need to keep animals healthy and give vets increased ability to help nurse animals with more serious conditions back to health.
Another benefit to the building will be helping cut down on the pet population with more spade and neuter days for the public.
Spay and neuter days. And we only do those about once every couple months. So we'll be able to offer that to the public more so they can bring their animals to us to spay and neuter their animals, reducing the overpopulation problem.
For now, these are the current conditions of the Humane Society's building. But there is hope for these pets, and they will just be enjoying life as much as they can until they find a new home.
The new shelter will be built hopefully by August of 2019, but for now, these good dogs are still looking for a home. For WCTV, hey, good girl, hey. I'm Antonio Palullo. Thank you.
We've seen some rain earlier in the day today, but it should be dry leading into the evening, and the next few days looks promising as the rain should stay away. Stay tuned for your 5-day weather forecast here on WCTV.
Back in 7th grade, a kid from England used to drop books on my head.
When I was little, a kid used to lock me in the closet for hours.
Back in middle school, I got made fun of for my weight.
I used to get bullied in elementary school because of my height.
Back when I was in high school, I used to, push kids into lockers, make them buy me chips, stuff like that, but I've regretted it ever since.
A second woman is accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of inappropriate sexual behavior. The White House and Kavanaugh denied the allegation Sunday, calling it a smear campaign. On Sunday, the New Yorker reported that Deborah Ramirez, now 53, attended Yale with Kavanaugh and says he exposed himself to her at a dorm party in the early 1980s. According to the New Yorker, Ramirez was initially reluctant to come forward, in part because her memory contained gaps. The previous allegation was made by Christine Blasey Ford, who said Kavanaugh groped her and tried to remove her clothes during a party in their high school years. Kavanaugh said he looks forward to testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee Thursday and clearing his name. Ford has also committed to testifying about her allegation of sexual assault. President Trump taking center stage at the United Nations General Assembly this morning, emphasizing sovereignty at the year's largest gathering of world leaders. Karen Kaifa is live at the United Nations to break down the president's message.
President Trump delivering a central message to the United Nations General Assembly. He's putting America first.
America will never apologize for protecting its citizens.
Trump emphasized sovereignty as a useful avenue for progress.
The United States will not tell you how to live or work or worship. We only ask that you honor our sovereignty in return.
His message underscored by decisions to withdraw the U.S. from several multinational agreements, including the Paris Accord and the UN Human Rights Council. The president defended his decisions, many that put him at odds with key U.S. allies, including the decision to pull out of the Obama-era Iran nuclear deal.
We cannot allow the world's leading sponsor of terrorism to possess the planet's most dangerous weapons. We ask all nations to isolate Iran's regime as long as its aggression continues.
The president's speech coming less than 24 hours after he signed a new U.S.-South Korean trade deal, also as the U.S. and China hit each other with their most expensive round of tariffs yet.
I have great respect and affection for my friend, President Xi, but I have made clear our trade imbalance is just not acceptable.
Trump striking a notably different tone on North Korea than last year's address, where he threatened to, quote, totally destroy North Korea. This year, Trump spoke of a possible follow-up summit with Kim after their historic first meeting in June.
Since that meeting, we have already seen a number of encouraging measures, though much work remains to be done.
At the United Nations, I'm Karen Kafa.
A funeral procession Monday honored a California prison guard who died this month after inmates attacked him. Officers from several agencies accompanied Armando Gallegos' body. In April, inmates at Kern Valley State Prison reportedly attacked Gallegos. The California Correctional Peace Officers Association says he finally succumbed to his injuries this month. The association is calling the death a murder. No charges have been filed yet. A North Carolina woman is finding support online after she was arrested for taking pets in during Hurricane Florence. More than 10,000 people have signed online petitions demanding all charges against Tammy Hedges be dropped. Hedges opened up a temporary shelter to take in 27 dogs and cats during the hurricane, according to arrest warrants. She administered antibiotics to multiple pets without a medical license. Court documents also say she gave opioid painkillers to an animal. It is against the law to practice veterinary medicine without a state license or a temporary permit from the State Veterinary Medical Board.
In his first reference to the Catholic Church's sex abuse crisis during his Baltic trip, Pope Francis said he understood that young people, quote, are upset by sexual and economic scandals that do not meet with clear condemnation, end quote. He was addressing a group of young people in the Estonian capital Tallinn on Tuesday, the final day of his 4-day Baltic tour. Francis said the church would have to change. The Pope returns to Rome on Tuesday evening and may address further questions on the sex abuse crisis during the in-flight presser on the Papal Plain. Hurricane Florence is long gone, but it's far from forgotten. Major damage reported and historic flooding is still on the way for some low-lying areas. John Lornick reports.
More than a week has passed since Hurricane Florence struck the East Coast, and for some, the worst is yet to come. Georgetown County, South Carolina, is likely to see floodwaters at least 10 feet deep this week.
We are expected to see peak levels of water levels here in the late hours of Wednesday evening and into early morning hours of Thursday, the 27th.
The area missed the worst of Hurricane Florence. However, it's located at the mouths of 3 rivers. Thousands have already been urged to evacuate.
We are prepared to open additional shelters should the need arise.
Portable dams are set up along Highway 17 in Georgetown, and schools are closed until further notice. Some of the rainwater causing problems for South Carolina has been flowing downriver from North Carolina. There has been some good news in the Tar Heel State. Interstate 95 is once again open to all traffic.
Getting those critical arteries open again is key to our recovery.
But despite that, many are still facing major obstacles.
We're far from normal. It's going to be several months, if not a year, till we see any normal life to some people.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
As of Monday, the death toll from Florence rose to 47. Portland University students protested armed campus police on the first day back to school. Over the summer, campus police officers shot and killed an armed man named Jason Washington. A Multnomah County grand jury found the shooting was justified and declined to charge the officers involved. There have been ongoing protests against armed campus police since officers began carrying weapons in 2015. Now, student activists believe the university is trying to, quote, forget about the incident. The students plan to also protest the Board of Trustees meeting in October. In other presidential news, President Trump has granted Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein's request for a Thursday meeting. Rosenstein met Monday with White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. A source says Rosenstein expects to be fired. It's the latest fallout after a damaging New York Times article about Rosenstein last week. According to the piece, Rosenstein discussed secretly recording President Trump. Sources also told the Times Rosenstein discussed using the 25th Amendment, which has provisions for a president to be removed from office by his cabinet. Rosenstein denies the claims in the Times article. A White House official says Kelly told his associates he accepted Rosenstein's resignation last week. The story has big implications for the Russia investigation. If Rosenstein steps down or is fired, it would mean an uncertain future for special counsel Robert Mueller, who reports to Rosenstein. Solicitor General Noel Francisco would take on oversight of the Russia probe if Rosenstein exits as Attorney General. Tickets for Disney could be dropping. Find out more with Brooke Fuller's business and entertainment update coming up next on Channel 14 News.
The Ava K. Bowlby Public Library has provided service to the Gray County community for over 75 years. One of the services provided is a free tutoring program for children and youth. Waynesburg University students participate in this program, helping out children from the Greene County area.
I think it's a really good program to help the local kids and the community kids, and just so that they're around university students and college kids that they can look up to. I think the library is pretty great for the community. I think it's pretty essential for the young kids.
And I love coming here to hang out with kids who have a heart of pure joy. Coming here is really relaxing, and you literally just get to act like a kid with them and help them throughout the way.
For the latest movie and music news, let's turn to David Daniel for the Hollywood Minute.
She's just crazy.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape?
Ready for more Harley Quinn? Suicide Squad star Margot Robbie is set to reprise the delightfully disturbed character in Birds of Prey. Warner Brothers, which is casting the other leads for the flick about an all-female superhero team, has scheduled Birds of Prey to hit theaters February 7th, 2020.
I think it's a story about, dreams. It's a story about minorities. It's a story about that we live in an incredible country.
And now that country is honoring them. The U.S. Library of Congress has named Gloria and Emilio Estefan as the next recipients of the Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. It's the first time the prestigious prize has gone to a married couple or to Hispanic musicians and songwriters. They'll be honored at an all-star tribute concert in Washington, D.C. next March.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Flashback to 1986 this week as the Transformers the movie returns to theaters. The animated adventure has been digitally restored to screen at 750 U.S. theaters for one night only, Thursday, September 27th. Audiences will also get a behind-the-scenes look at the newest Transformer movie, Bumblebee, which hits theaters in December. Yes, there's more than meets the eye. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Tickets to Walt Disney World may now cost less depending on which day you go. Walt Disney World Resorts is unveiling a new pricing plan that kicks off next month for its Orlando, Florida parks. Starting October 16th, tickets will be structured in ranges depending on the date. For instance, one day, one park tickets will cost between $109 and $129 depending on which day you visit. Disney is also getting rid of small extra fee you've paid to go to Magic Kingdom for the rest of the 2 years. The main park will now cost the same as the others. Disney hopes this new plan will help spread out attendance throughout the year. It's official, Michael Kors is buying haute couture fashion house Versace. Michael Kors Holdings made a $2 billion deal for the storied Italian brand, giving the handbag maker a foothold in the world of elite European fashion. Chairman and CEO of Michael Kors Holdings, John Idle, said in a statement Tuesday, "The acquisition of Versace is an important milestone for our group." Idle also announced Michael Kors Holdings will change its name to Capri Holdings, and Donatella Versace, sister of founder Gianni Versace, will continue to lead the company's creative vision. Disney's Princess Tiana will look more recognizable when the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph hits theaters. Animators went back to the drawing board on Disney's first African-American princess. The change in her appearance in Wreck-It Ralph's Breaks the Internet clip caused a social media backlash. Tiana made her debut in The Princess and the Frog in 2008. According to the Wall Street Journal, Disney made changes after a meeting with the actress who voices the character, other animators, and a Black advocacy group. Her look has been updated in the new release clip. Ralph Breaks the Internet hits theaters November 21st. What you study in college may be just as important, if not more important, than where you attend. That's according to a report that ranks the most and least valuable degrees. In today's Consumers Watch, Mary Maloney has a closer look at the list you choose.
Choose your college major wisely. According to a report from Bankrate, what you study may be the biggest indicator of success in the workforce. Researchers looked at 162 degrees and census data. They then analyzed the bachelor's degrees and incomes of at least 15,000 people. They found actuarial science is the most valuable college major. Bankrate says that's because people with that degree, like budget analysts, cost estimators, and statisticians, earn more on average than their peers. The average income of an actuary is $108,658, and they faced a lower unemployment rate, 2.3%. Other valuable degrees on Bankrate's list include zoology, nuclear engineering, health and medical preparatory programs, and applied mathematics. Meanwhile, miscellaneous fine arts came in dead last. People with that major tend to work as art teachers, costume attendants, and music contractors, and make an average income of $40,000 a year. And their unemployment rate is at 9.1%. Also on that job list, visual and performing arts, cosmetology and culinary arts, clinical psychology, and composition and speech. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
That's it from the Business and Entertainment Report this week. We'll be right back with Sam Hickson's Sports Report on WCTV.
How about them Jackets? The football team finally got in the win column this past weekend with a compelling 10-7 victory over Geneva. A common question asked before the game is, who are the Jackets going with the quarterback? Well, I'll tell you who. Transfer junior Tyler Perrone got the start, and things didn't go as he had planned early on. The Jackets started the second quarter on their own 50-yard line, and Perrone immediately threw an interception to Jamarcus Brumskin. Coach Smithley then pulled Perrone in favor of Jake Doherty. Geneva would eventually get on the board in the second quarter with a touchdown run off the cleats of Trayvon Marshall. That would make it 7-0. Fast forward to 20 seconds left in the third quarter, Jake Doherty is back out of the game, and it's redemption time for Mr. Perrone. Tyler Perrone finds Cole Booth from 27 yards for the touchdown and the tie. The fourth quarter comes and almost goes without a decision until Perrone and the offense get the ball back with 3:19 left from their own 20-yard line. Perrone would orchestrate a drive that would make Tom Brady proud to set up a Garrett Horn field goal attempt with 14 seconds left. Horn nailed it, and Waynesburg prevailed 10-7. With the win, Waynesburg moves to 1-3 on the season, while Geneva is now 2-2. Waynesburg will play at Teal this Saturday with kickoff at 3 p.m. Staying on the football field, linebacker Tyler Smith was named the PAC Defensive Player of the Week. Smith played a major role in Waynesburg's win against Geneva, collecting 12 tackles, a forced fumble, and a sack. Now moving from the field to the pitch, where Waynesburg's men's soccer team lost 1-0 to Mount Union. Waynesburg held the 24th-ranked team to a tie at the half. But Mount Union finally broke through in the 55th minute when Tucker Ramirez buried a cross from the corner. Adam Dolan made 8 saves on 9 shots, but it was not enough, and Waynesburg now falls to a 3-6 record. The Waynesburg volleyball team fell in 4 sets to St. Vincent, but yesterday they continued to improve from last season. The Jackets were led by Jordan Wiley, Lexi Waldman, and Hannah Colvin, who had 10 kills each. The Jackets fall to 3-13 overall and 0-5 in the conference. Their next game will take place tomorrow at Chatham. The Waynesburg University women's tennis match that was scheduled to be played yesterday against Teal has been postponed by poor weather. A makeup date for the event should be announced in the near future. Waynesburg is set to return to the courts tomorrow when they host Westminster for a 4 p.m. PAC match. The Yellow Jackets men's cross-country team welcomed 9 other teams to the Greene County Airport for Saturday's Waynesburg Invitational. The Jackets made a respectable showing in front of their home crowd by placing 4th out of 10th squads, with a team score of 89. Waynesburg placed just behind third-place Grove City, which tallied 80 points. Geneva took second with 70 points, and Washington and Jefferson cruised to a team title with 33 points. The host team was led by sophomore Matt Collum, whose time of 28-28 allowed him to finish in 12th place. Classmate Matt Durgan was next across the finish line, doing so with a 15th place time of 28-51. Waynesburg's top 3 was completed by sophomore Jordan Payne, who followed Durgan in 16th place. The Jackets will be back in action on Saturday, October 6th, when they travel to the DeSales Invitational. Now from the men to the women, the Waynesburg women's cross-country team was a part of a field of 11 teams that gathered for Saturday's Waynesburg Invitational. The Yellow Jackets won the event with a final score of 44. Waynesburg's total placed it 20 points ahead of PAC rival Grove City, which took second with 64 points. The Yellow Jackets' average finish time of 22-26 was 20 seconds faster than any member of the Wolverines. Another PAC member, Geneva, rounded out the top 3 with 97 points. The Jackets were led by freshman Aubrey Wingard, who placed 4th out of 118 runners with a time of 21:56. Waynesburg added 2 more top 10 performers in senior Tegan Simonton and freshman Gloria Reed. That pair placed 6th and 7th respectively with times of 22:06 and 22:14. Well, that'll about wrap it up for sports. Coming up next, Adam Morgani with your 5-day weather forecast.
Rough day, huh? Hey, rough day, huh? Maybe this will make you feel better. I made some apple fritters. Welcome home.
Thank you. I really needed this today.
There are little things that you can do to help you when you're driving a car, but the one thing that you shouldn't do when driving a car is texting and driving. In fact, at any given time throughout the day, approximately 660,000 drivers are attempting to use their phones while behind the wheel of an automobile. And 11 teens die every day as a result of texting while driving. According to the National Safety Council, 25% of all automobile crashes are related to cell phone use. Don't text and drive.
Welcome back to Channel 14 News. I'm Adam Morganti with your 5-day weather forecast. It's been raining off and on throughout the day, so I hope you've had rain gear with you. However, the rain should stop as we get into the evening. The high for today is 72 degrees, and the low will reach a cool 50 degrees. On Thursday, the rain will finally go away, as you can expect blue sunny skies with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 52 degrees. On Friday, it'll pretty much be the same exact forecast, as will be partly sunny with a high of 70 degrees and a low of 51 degrees, which is perfect weather if you plan on going to any high school football games. On Saturday, if you plan on watching the Waynesburg women's and men's soccer team, you will have excellent weather. The sun won't be out as much as what it was on Thursday and Friday, but there will be no rain, which is always good. It will be partly cloudy with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 55 degrees. On Sunday, the rain will unfortunately come back as it can't stay dry forever. Expect a 40% chance of rain showers with a high of 73 degrees and a low of 59 degrees. On Monday looks almost the same as Sunday did, with a 40% chance of rain showers and a high of 74 degrees and a low of 60 degrees. So, if you're a Waynesburg student, make sure you have an umbrella with you going to classes, and make sure you have rain gear with you if you're doing anything outside for that matter.
Well, Adam, it looks like we're finally settling into fall. That's always a good sign. You excited about football season and the Steelers?
Oh yeah, definitely. Big Steeler game coming up this Sunday night against the Ravens. Should be a tough game, but I think they're going to come out on top with a victory.
That certainly makes 2 of us. I think the Steelers are going to pull out a win. How about you, Rachel?
I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I know that anything can happen, especially with the Ravens. But thank you for joining us here on Channel 14 News. Don't forget to tune in every Wednesday at 5. Have a good night, everyone.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.